Why are you working, Grace?
I have to. I need to put in more effort to write my essays.
Do you not want to come sales with me?
I want to, but I've got to really try to make sure that I put this together.
Oh.
You know.
How long have you been at this?
Yesterday.
Since yesterday?
Yeah, that's why I didn't go with you guys to the Christmas party. Hello, Hal?
Hi.
Could you talk to us about how dyspraxia affects you as an undergraduate person?
Well, it affects my ability to plan activities, so to plan getting dressed in the morning, to plan eating my breakfast on time, so that I have enough time to walk to uni, to go to the lectures, and then planning how I'm going to take notes. Basically, it makes my ability to plan is just practically out of the window. Everything, because it gives me so much trouble planning, it takes me twice as long as it takes everyone else to do things. And because I have motor problems, obviously, getting dressed in the morning takes twice as long as it takes everyone else. And walking to college takes twice as long as it takes everyone else. And taking notes in lectures, because I have to listen to what they're saying and at the same time type, because I can't handwrite, because my handwriting is so terrible that I can't even read it myself. So I have to try and split my focus of hearing and typing it down, which, because I have auditory processing problems, which most dyspraxic people do have some auditory processing problems, it means that my ability to do that is so much slower, so I can only take half the notes that everyone else can take.
Yes.
And then when it comes to organising, talking to lecturers, because you have to go speak to them afterwards, because it takes me twice as long to walk to the seminars and to find where the seminars are, because there are no maps, and when you're dyspraxic, telling your left and right is so hard, so knowing which corridor to go down is practically impossible because the signage is awful. So I spend half of my time trying to find a room that I've been to 40 times this year, instead of being able to actually spend my half an hour between lectures going to a lecturer and asking the lecturer questions about things. And then when I do get to ask lecturers about questions about things, because I have trouble talking, and because I'm tired from doing everything, that it makes it so much harder to do, because I have oral dyspraxia as well, it makes it harder to say words. When you're slurring your words and you're maybe not talking as well as other people don't want to listen to what you have to say, because they're assuming that occasionally they will assume that you're drunk, and sometimes they'll just assume that, well, you're a bit dim, and if they try and talk to you, it will take double the time that it takes talking to another student. So why bother when I can, I've got something to do, I'm busy, come back another time, send me an email. But writing down an email is so much harder, because organising your thoughts and putting them down to words is harder when your brain works in a way that makes that hard. And also talking to other people, like, I think like fashion is a big thing for most students, like they're big into fashion, and if you don't dress well then they're a bit arseholey to you. But I can't wear anything that has buttons, because I can't physically do up buttons. I can't I don't want to, but even if I did want to, I can't wear makeup because I don't have the manual dexterity to apply it to my face. I can't wear shoes unless I have someone else to tie the shoelaces for me. It's just, everything is double the time, and some things you, even with double the time, you can't do. And the way they try and make up for it is to give you, well, maybe 20 minutes extra on your exam. But that 20-minute extra on your exam doesn't account for the, quite frankly, double the amount of time you have to work to get to grips with the basic information. Not understanding it, but actually getting it to you. That other people don't have to spend that time doing. They can get a part-time job, they can go out drinking on the weekends, they can spend their time doing other things, but when you have dyspraxia and other disabilities, because I have more than just dyspraxia,
Yes,
but when you have
it also overlaps. Dyspraxia.
yeah, when you have dyspraxia and other things together, especially, all of your time is eaten by trying to do half of what other people can do without thinking.
Yeah.
And there's no account for that, and there's absolutely no support for the emotional toll that takes upon students.
Yes.
Because if as I just said, all of that is so much harder for you, and everyone else is talking about how it's hard for them, because undergraduates, they moan, is what we do. But there's no one there to talk about how it actually is really, really, really hard. And when you've been trying to do something that takes you double the time in the same amount of time as everyone else, and you're not getting the results that everyone else is getting, you start to feel like you're the problem.
Yes.
That you are basically, you're shit and you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And then you try and talk to people about it, but they don't understand what dyspraxia is at all. So even if you try to explain it to them, they would just think that you're the average whiny undergraduate who's talking about how it's so difficult. So it is so easy to get like just isolated socially, which just makes you really, really depressed. And why would you stay somewhere that makes you isolated and depressed? And that is why we don't stay here, or we get shit grades. And it's your fault, it's not our fault. Okay, how